What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Kyle.
That's right. I have another question. How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 15 years old.
Yes, you are 15. What's mom's name? What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Kelli.
That's right. Very
My mom's
good.
name is Kelli.
That's right. What's your dad's name?
My dad's name is Jesse. My dad's name is Jesse.
That's right. Thank you for answering my questions. Kyle has a genetic disorder called SYNGAP1. We make these videos to show what our lives are like living with multiple disabilities and to help other families like ours feel less alone. Hi everyone, and welcome to our first Q&A video on our channel. Thank you for all the questions that you have sent in. We received so many that I decided to save some for another question and answer video that I'll do next month. Also, thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. More about Skillshare later, but first let's hop into these questions. This first question comes from a mom who has 2 elementary age school children on the autism spectrum. Neither are potty trained, and she asks if we've had any success in training Kyle, and if so, what was helpful. She also asks where we get our diapers. Unfortunately, we have not yet had success potty training Kyle, and he'll be 16 years old in 1 month. From what I know about SYNGAP1, which is the genetic diagnosis Kyle has, only a handful have been trained. I took a training class by a developmental psychologist at our children's hospital last year, and she helps train children on the autism spectrum. She was very helpful and said that it is definitely possible to at least partially train Kyle on a schedule. I tried for a solid month last year with only 1 trip to the bathroom being a success. It was very challenging and time-consuming, but I'm going to give it another try this year after brainstorming with his program manager at his school. We use the Tranquility brand diapers, specifically the all through the night type, for extra absorbency. These are not covered in our insurance plan, unfortunately. So for the past 10 years, we have been able to use the United Healthcare Children's Foundation grant to pay for most of the costs. I'll link to that grant in the description box below this video. We either buy or use our grant from a medical supply company in our area, and then we buy the case for a discount. These are the ones that we use for Kyle, and if you contact Tranquility online, you can get free samples sent to your house so that you can figure out what product is best for you. Can Kyle write? No, Kyle does not have the fine motor skills to be able to write. Here's a clip from one of our other YouTube videos of him using crayons and of me helping him to write his name. He does know all of his letters and recognizes sight words up to the 3rd grade sight word list. So instead of focusing on writing, we will focus on recognition of letters and maybe using a keyboard to possibly type. And there's also a feature on his talker that allows him to type. He's not able to do that yet, but we're hopeful that that's something that we can introduce to him and give it a try. These next few questions come from a mom who has a 7-year-old with cerebral palsy. She asks if Kyle verbalizes any words or uses sounds to communicate other than his speech device. Kyle does make a lot of sounds, but has not paired any of these sounds with the intention to communicate anything specific, as far as we can tell. Sometimes he gets very happy and vocal, but no recognizable words. So he uses his speech device for basic requests, points or leads us to what he wants, and knows a few signs. These are the signs Kyle knows. He does something like this for more. I know this is a sign for more, I believe, and he's kind of modified it to do this. And he'll use that to ask for more of something or to indicate yes if we ask him a yes or no question. He also uses this sign to mean all done with something, and he will let us know if he's all done with something by doing this. And then also if we tell him to say goodbye to somebody, he will also use this sign for that. We've tried, to get him to wave, but this is the sign that he uses, kind of like, I'm all done with you, so goodbye. And then we made up a sign for him to request for his tablet, and it's either like this or just one hand, and he asks for that pretty much every day too. This mom also asked if Kyle has a special way to say I love you. This question made me smile because Kyle does say I love you several times every day. Almost every single time I tell him that I love him, he quickly leans in to give me a kiss to say I love you right back. This mom also asked how Kyle does with doctor visits. Let's just say that I've had my fair share of stressful doctor visits over the past 16 years. Jesse can never go to the appointments due to his work schedule, so I've brought my mom or dad along at times for the additional help. It's nice to have them to help entertain Kyle or keep him happy so I can talk to the doctor. Most of the appointments are done on my own though, and I've had the help of child life specialists that work in our children's hospital, which is where all of Kyle's appointments usually are. Also, his regular checkups have become easier in just this past year, probably due to him maturing a little. Dentist visits or x-ray appointments, though, are still very stressful and challenging, but the staff are always very understanding and helpful. And then I always treat myself to an iced coffee or a fun coffee drink on the way home from these appointments. It kind of rewards myself for the stress of it all. A viewer of our channel told me she has Asperger's syndrome and is curious what Kyle's favorite color is. Although we don't know with 100% certainty, we think it's blue. We've given Kyle choices of colors in multiple situations, asking which color he likes or wants, and he almost always chooses blue. I just want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different courses you can choose from. Most of the questions I received for this Q&A video were all about Kyle, but I did have one viewer ask about me and wanted to know if I worked while Kyle was at school. I do several things to earn a little income from home, and one of them is teaching a calligraphy course on Skillshare. My course is Modern Calligraphy with brush pens, and I also recently started a course called Expressive Brush Pen Florals by Kylie Bennett. I've always used my brush pens for lettering, but wanted to explore using them for watercolor and illustration. So Skillshare has a huge variety of courses from art, like the course I teach and the course I'm taking now, to photography, to cooking, and so much more. Skillshare has an amazing offer right now that the first 1,000 of my subscribers that click the link in the description box below gets a 1-month free trial with Skillshare. So thank you very much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video, and now back to more of the questions you asked about Kyle. How much time does Kyle spend with his grandparents so that you can get a break? We are very fortunate to have both of my parents and Jesse's parents living within a 20-minute drive from us. Several times per month, both sets of grandparents will offer to pick Kyle up from school and keep him at their houses for several hours so that I can get a break. Also, at least once per month, one set of grandparents will keep Kyle overnight so that Jesse and I can either have a date night or go to dinner and do an activity with just Kaylee. We also travel at least one weekend per month for Kaylee's volleyball tournaments the first half of the year, and the grandparents take turns taking care of Kyle either at their house or will stay at our house to watch him. Another viewer asked some similar questions. Do you ever have a caregiver over to provide care so that you can go out for yourselves? If so, how do you go about finding someone, and what kind of certifications do they have? I have heard of respite care, but wasn't sure if you had that or if it was available. My answer to the question before describes all of the help that we get from Kyle's grandparents. We use them because apart from me and Jesse, they know Kyle the very best. Kyle's aunts and uncles could watch him too if needed, but we usually don't ask them unless necessary. Apart from family, we've had only 2 other people watch Kyle. One was a former student of mine way back when I taught, and she was college age at the time, about ready to graduate with a degree in special education. The other person we met through a church we attended years ago, and she was also college age and studying to be a nurse and had experience in nursing homes. It can get very expensive on top of all the other expenses that come with having a child with complex needs, so we mostly rely on family. A few times per year, there is a local church in Kyle's school that provides a respite evening of a few hours for parents to get a break, and Kyle always does very well with that. Does Kyle have any close friends? I can't really say yes to this question because he doesn't have close friends in the way that the typical teenager would describe a close friend. The best way to explain friendship for Kyle is to think about what it's like in the toddler years. No truly close friends, but enjoys being around people and having shared experiences with others. Besides our immediate family and grandparents, Kyle likes being around all of his cousins, and he also loves being at school with all of the teachers, therapists, and being around the kids his age. And this school year, we met another family who lives within minutes of us who has a child with similar needs as Kyle in his class at school. We've been able to carpool back and forth to school most days, and Kyle always looks forward to riding in the car with him. They are both nonverbal and do not really interact, but you can tell Kyle enjoys having someone else his age ride to school with him and listen to music. Why was Kyle born with SYNGAP1, and does it run in the family? The simple answer is that SYNGAP1 just happened, and there was nothing we could have done to prevent it. For Kyle, a mutation occurred on the SYNGAP1 gene that everyone has, and it's located on chromosome 6. A mutation is simply a typo that happens when the DNA is copied from cell to cell. So my husband and I were tested too, and it does not run in the family, which is what they are finding for the majority of all individuals with SYNGAP1. I'll link to an article on the SYNGAP Research Fund's website below this video, which explains it more thoroughly. Does Kyle go to a day camp for fun on summer breaks? We have not yet tried this with Kyle. Fortunately, he attends a year-round school, so his summer break is only 2.5 weeks long. If he went to a public school with a 3-month summer break, I would definitely seek out some type of day program for him because he needs routines and structure, and just would simply get bored if he didn't have something other than me to occupy his day. Speaking of Kyle's school, I did get some questions about schooling. This viewer asked, what is Kyle's school like, and is it a public school? Kyle has been going to a private school for the last 7 years. It is specifically for children on the autism spectrum or other related disabilities. So through Ohio's Department of Education, families can use the Autism Scholarship or the John Peterson Scholarship if their child qualifies, which gives us the choice to send our child to a special education program other than the one our public school provides. I was also asked what kind of curriculum do they use, and are there government programs for when Kyle is too old to attend? I can't really pinpoint a particular curriculum, but they provide occupational and speech therapy, behavioral plans, music therapy, social skills classes, transition to adulthood and skill training, and just individualized education to meet all of the goals in Kyle's IEP, which is an individualized education program. That's what all public schools have to provide for children who need special education. And in Ohio, Kyle can attend this particular school until he is 22 years old. As he approaches that age, we'll start to look for a day program, and we'll get the help of his school to figure out what would be best for him after he transitions out of the program he's in now. Does Kyle use a wheelchair or any mobility aids, and will he wear a mask? Kyle does not use a wheelchair. Up until a few years ago, we did use a stroller designed for older children with disabilities, and it was useful for longer trips. But eventually we found out that as Kyle got older, he did prefer to walk. He does wear ankle-foot orthotics to correct his overpronated feet, so that helps with his hip and knee alignment, which will help with mobility. And although we've tried having Kyle wear a mask multiple times, he pulls it off the first chance he gets, no matter how hard I work to keep it on. We received a few questions about some of Kyle's favorites. His favorite movies, he doesn't watch a movie from beginning to end, but likes watching segments of videos with things like Barney, Super Y, Blue's Clues, Wiggles, Thomas the Train, just to name a few. Some of his favorite music is the Laurie Berkner Band, Wiggles, Cedarmont Kids, Raffi, and Daryl House. And some of Kyle's favorite things to do, which we've also made some videos on our YouTube channel for, include golf cart rides, swimming, swinging, and loves to watch YouTube videos on his tablet. Like I said at the beginning, if you didn't hear your question in this video, I have another set of questions that I will answer in one of our next videos. If you have a question to add, you can leave them in the comments below. Thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Remember that the first 1,000 people to use the link below this video will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so I hope you check it out. Thank you so much for following our story, and we'll see you next time.